He said, I wanna rock.
Are we gonna be goofing off like this every day?
We're not goofing off. We're creating musical fusion.
Wow, you're amazing, dude.
Thanks. I like to play.
I'm a small reporter from Rolling Stone magazine that's in town to do an exclusive interview with Michael Jackson.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
It is time for the Unsigned and Unhinged Meltdown.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Unsigned Unhinged Meltdown. I am Frank E, and I am with Christian from Bridge to Grace as they are flying 70 miles down the freeway to get to their first stop on the tour, because you guys are with Seasons After on this one, right?
Yes, sir, we are. We're headed down to Fort Worth, Texas to meet up with Seasons After and Gears for the Lost in Space tour.
And if I worked my cards right, Seasons After might be on Unsigned and Unhinged after the tour. So I'm hoping I made that work. Really?
Yeah, they just want to do it because they heard we were doing it, you know.
Well, actually, I met Season After at Toys for Tots, and the Three Left did the show. So I'm kind of connected with them through Three Left because I'm really good friends with Three Left. So.
Oh, okay, very cool.
So I got to meet them, and man, I was sitting there and I was talking with Ryan for God knows how long after the show, and all we were doing was talking about video games. We weren't talking about music and famous people. We were talking about video games. Total nerd conversation, and I was loving it. So
that sounds like the conversations we've been having on the RV for the past few days.
So just to get everyone acquainted with this, how I heard about Bridge to Grace was first from my good friend Wayne, who is in St. Tragedy, and he was trying to get me out to a show in Janesville, and he was like, dude, you got to come. Bridge to Grace is going to be here. And at that point in time, I was like, who's Bridge to Grace? Mm-hmm. And he sent over the video for everything, and I was like, oh my God. These guys are awesome. I still want to make it to Janesville, but because of my disability, I really couldn't make it out there. So sadly, I didn't get to see the show. So it's a sad face on my part. And
it's a sad face over here, too. Don't worry.
And then Ashley was just really driving them home to me. She goes, oh, you like them? And I'm like, well, I heard the one song. She goes, oh my gosh, just buy the CD. So I ended up buying the CD because of Ashley, which actually did some work for you guys. So, so we can.
Yeah, she helps us out whenever we're in town. She'll help us sell merch, help us move some stuff. Yeah, she's really great. We really appreciate her being around.
Yeah, little shameless plug for Ashley. So
there you go, Ashley.
So my first question that I always ask is the name Bridge to Grace. Like, is there a meaning behind the name, and how did you guys actually come up with it?
Originally, when it was me and my guitar player, Alex.
Okay.
There was a church or an old church we'd pass on our way to the studio called Bridge to Grace, and we thought it was really funny because it was right past an actual bridge, like over like an overpass or something. So we kind of thought it was pretty funny. So we talked about that. And we realized we kind of liked the name, and then when the full picture came together with Justin and David, we put it back on the table to see like, all right, do we want to stick with this name? And we decided to because we felt like, you know, with all of our different experiences and all of our individual musical tastes and flavors that we bring together, we could bridge all of that together to have a product we'd all love and something new. So that's kind of the Bridge to Grace.
Yeah, and honestly, the way you describe it, it's a bridge of the band coming together to a graceful sound. Look at that.
Bingo. I'm going to write that down.
Man. So I remember when I was actually trying to contact these guys. Now, I do all my networking on Facebook, and when if there is a contact number on your Facebook page, I'm old-fashioned. I like to make phone calls. I don't like doing emails that much because whenever I do it, I forget that I actually got the email, and I'll respond like 4 days later. So I called the number, and I actually was talking to Greg, who's your dad, correct?
Alex's dad.
Okay, Alex's dad. So, but my goodness, he is such a nice guy. And he was just like so supportive of you guys. And he was just like, oh, thank you so much for supporting them. They try so hard to make it work. And I'm like, dude, I don't think they have to try much harder because they're already sounding great. So,
thank you, man. Yeah,
like,
we really appreciate his support. He's helped us in a lot of hard stuff. I'd say we couldn't do it without him. And
yeah.
We're really grateful for all of it.
So now, the lineup that you guys got right now, you got David on vocals, and there's Alex on guitar. You're doing bass, and Justin's on drums. Now, how did the band actually come together? And has there been any changes at all in the lineup?
Well, I guess you could say there has been. Back when it was just me and Alex originally, we'd been in a band before, not really anything serious, just kind of casual, playing some Bob Seger covers or something like that. And he contacted me and said, hey, I've got this project I'm working on. I want you in on it. So I joined up, and we went to our producer friend at the time, still friend, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Rick Beato, based in Stone Mountain, Georgia. He actually he's done stuff for Florida Georgia Line. He did the first Shinedown record, which was like,
oh, nice.
We were like, oh,
I
silver lining.
I love the song 45. Just saying. Anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah. And Rick Beato was actually working on an album with David and Justin's other band. A band that Justin had just recently joined. David had been in it for a while. And Rick somehow convinced them, hopefully it wasn't too hard to convince them to leave, but they left that band and then joined up with us, and we've never looked back.
Okay. Now, I was doing some research on Facebook because, I got to do some research before I'm getting involved in an interview. Now, It said that you guys was 2015 as a debut. Is that like when you guys formed, or was that like the release of the CD? Or
that was the release of the CD. Jesus, that's 2015. Wow. God. I'd say we actually formed and started playing shows in 2014.
Okay.
And then the album came out in 2015, I believe.
Which, for most of you guys that are listening, most bands that I have on have EPs that they drop right away, just 5 or 6 songs just to kind of wet your lips or whatever. Bridge to Grace said, screw this, and put out a 17-song album, which it's like, dude, why don't you just throw like 5 more songs in there and have, the Melancholy and Infinite Sadness package like, Smashing Pumpkins. But my guess is they probably have like another like 12 songs because, you guys got some amazing lyrics in there as well. So the first song that I'm going to play, which Ashley helped me out with this one because I had 4 songs that I was like dead solid that I wanted to play, but I was really struggling between 3 songs for a 5th song. And she said, yeah, go with The Fold. So the first song that we're going to play is The Fold, which...
fun fact about this is actually the first song we all wrote as a band.
And
together in a room.
And no pun intended, it's the first song we're gonna play. Oh,
boom!
So, give us an insight of The Fold. Like, what's the meaning behind the song, and how did you guys actually collaborate to put it together?
The Fold to us represents that dark place, like a crease, something you fall into, like a valley in your life. And it's just we tried to pull all the emotional torment that place can bring and put it into that song. And we originally called it Sailor Song because but back before we had any lyrics, we were just writing the lyric because just the time signature of the original version was like a little gung-ho piratey, but we edged it up and we captured the essence of the song and refined it to and that's kind of the overall theme of Origins. A lot of our songs have to do with darkness and getting over it and whatnot.
Yeah, but like I said, the album is absolutely great. You guys, if you haven't heard it yet, first thing I got to say is, what the heck is wrong with you?
There we go, yeah.
And
good question.
What's wrong with you?
What's going on?
You can find it on iTunes. I believe it's on Spotify.
Yep.
It's floating around on YouTube. I don't know how many different versions of videos that I've seen that people have made of just their songs. So, man, I mean, seriously, just go and check it out. So, here's the first song off their debut CD, Origins. This is The Fold. Oof, God, that song is so awesome. I wish I could sit here and play the whole CD and just talk to Christian all day long, but they're busy and they're on a tour, so I can't do that. But maybe we'll get them on another time after the tour, and we could sit down with the whole entire band and play more music. But for right now, we're dealing with Christian, and I've talked with Christian on the phone before this actually happened. And let me just tell you, the guy he's very genuine and humble. So,
oh shucks.
Aw, shucks. And
man.
my good friend Mimi, who was playing with Saint Tragedy, at the show in Janesville. And Mimi, I'm putting you on the spot. And I told Christian this on the phone. She says you have a lovely set of locks in your hair, and she just wants to touch it. And now it's on YouTube, so it's going to last there forever. But she loves your hair.
Exactly. I loved her hair, and I remember she told me that over a shot. I think it was a Jaeger bomb at the back bar getting ready to play.
Yeah, Jaeger bombs. I remember those days. Fortunately, though, for myself, I'm a recovering alcoholic, so I don't drink hard stuff that much anymore. Because
congratulations, man.
It's been about 5 years since I got trashed, so we're good.
Yeah,
I can have a drink once in a while, but if I sit there and have more than two, I know to stop. Because
that's the most important part.
I know when to cut myself off, because if I have more than like the two, and I go to the third one, I'm lost. Hey,
we're back.
Yeah, like I said, these guys are traveling on the highway. Where are you guys at right now?
Good question. I'm in the back bedroom of the RV, but if I were to base our location on the heat and the humidity, I would say we are somewhere in central Louisiana.
Central Louisiana. Born on a bayou. So we dropped the call, but because I have technology, I kind of edited it a little bit there. So we're back.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, dude, you have no need to apologize. Like I sent you in a text. No need to apologize. It's all good. We can work with the flow. So, Mimi, you're caught forever now as saying Christian has lovely locks of hair.
It's on the record.
It's on the record. So another thing that I want to bring up is you guys have traveled a lot. You guys are based in Hotlanta, or the ATL, or however you want to say it.
Yep.
But you guys, from what everyone has told me, from local bands that I'm friends with in Wisconsin, you guys are actually really huge in Wisconsin. Like I mentioned you guys, and everyone knows you.
Yeah, it's really cool how that happened. Like, it's not really something you plan on, like certain markets and states.
Yeah.
Just loving you. Like Wisconsin has shown us more. I think a large part of that is for all the radio support we have there. Places like
95 Will Rock, I know, has played you guys.
Yeah, well, Will Rock, especially Will Rock. JJO, the Razor up in Appleton.
Oh, JJO is such a great station.
92.9 The X up in Eau Claire. I mean, it's just all over the place.
Yeah.
We're getting spun, and we can't. I really can't even express how grateful we are to have that kind of support.
But another area that I know that you guys are big in, because I actually interviewed Cody from American Overdose in Oregon. And he was like, I was telling him about you guys, and he goes, dude, they are so big out here. I see them playing all the time. And I'm like, wow. Like, you guys are just, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, every state that I have contacted been like, have you guys heard of Bridge to Grace? And they would probably say yes. I'm just saying, you guys are for an independent band that is unsigned. You guys are mainstream, so
yeah, we're trying to get our way in there, you know.
It's a tough business to break in. That's what I'm going to school for. I'm going to school for business and marketing, and I want to open up my own record label and recording studio.
Oh, nice! And
I'm just going to start signing local bands like crazy. So.
Yeah, because that's really was the biggest hurdle when we were. I mean, I'm going to say when, as if that was like 10 years ago. But like when we were just starting out, getting a place to record and getting music to distribute was one of the hardest parts. And I know a lot of bands struggle with that in the beginning.
Yeah. So I mean, being as that you guys have toured in a lot of places, like what are some of your favorite venues that you guys have actually had a chance to play at?
Oh man, that's hard. Well, you can have a favorite venue that's in one of your least favorite cities, you know, or you can have your favorite city with one of your least favorite venues. So I guess one of the classics would have to be. Not saying I don't like the city or anything. I guess that was a bad preface to what I'm about to say. The Machine Shop is always just amazing. The crew, you know, the staff, the sound, everything there is amazing. The Knitting Factory in Spokane, Washington. We played out there with Like a Storm.
Okay.
For KHTQ out there at 94.5. That was a really good show. I mean, there's really too many to count. Rockfest up in Cadott, Wisconsin was an amazing one.
Yeah. Any memorable bands that you've had an opportunity to play with?
Oh, man. I guess if I were to say the most memorable... Did you ever hear the band Young Guns out of the UK?
No, I can't say I had a chance to hear them.
They're kind of a poppier rock, but I was a big fan of them before I even got to play, in this band or any band for that matter. And we got to do 2 shows with them. One was at the Machine Shop, and we just partied with them the whole weekend. They were on our RV, we were on theirs, we were writing songs. It was a really cool experience.
And being as it a band that you kind of admired, before you got into a band, I bet you that was a great experience for you even.
Yeah, it was really cool. It taught me that everybody is human,
Yeah.
Even your idols, they're just people.
Yeah.
Everybody has their awkward moments.
No, I have met so many bands, honestly, and I'm a huge wrestling fan, which I'll get into later. There's a little teaser for Christian, but I've got a chance to meet We As Human a few years ago, and oh man, they're just so down to earth, and I was like going throughout the bar just hanging out with them. It was great. I got to meet a lot of wrestlers, like just going to wrestling shows, and man, most of them are just so down to earth and chill, which. You're thinking, oh, this person's like uber famous. They're just going to avoid me. Like, they're people too. Now, they might be having a bad day. It might say, not right now. But for the most part, dude, they're people too. So, and don't harass them when they're in the airport. My gosh.
Oh my God. I know. And like having a bad day, I really understand that, you could be having a really rough week. It's really hard on the road when it's hard to like make friends, you know what I mean? You're only friends with the people that you work with every day and you live with every single day. So it kind of gets hard as a person on the road for so long.
Yeah.
But I can understand, but some people are just dicks. There's no excuse about it.
Yeah, some people just have that bug where they just want to be an asshole all the time.
Yeah.
But now, when you guys are on stages, now I asked this question to everybody, but when you guys are on stage, do you like to have the large stages where you guys can like move around and interact with each other, or does the smaller stages where it's like intimate with the crowd? Do you kind of prefer to have that? Like, which do you prefer to actually deal with?
Well, there's a pro and a con to each one. The size of the stage is always great. You can move around, do crazy stuff. You don't have to worry about tripping and falling. I mean, you do, but it's less likely. But the bad side of that is that, and you're kind of further from the crowd, and the sound is not as loud.
Yeah.
And for me, like volume, if it's just loud and I'm rocking out just as hard as everybody else is, that's the best show.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think I prefer a small packed club than a half full amphitheater. Well, because it's in your face. Oh yeah. It's organic. It's real. It's messy. I don't know. It's just more rock and roll to me.
Yeah. Which, side note, this is a spoiler. The Unsigned Unhinged Meltdown is hosting 2 concerts, and maybe in the future we can get Bridge the Grace on one of them. Just saying.
Yeah,
maybe we can make that happen.
Yeah, we'd love to.
So,
as long as it's not too cold.
Well, it's Wisconsin. Like, seriously. We've had, and I'm not even lying about this, I think it was January or February, where it was snowing, raining, and the sun was shining, and it was about 50, 60 degrees, and this was going on during the same day.
Oh my
Like, within hours of each other. It would go snow, rain, sunny, snow, sunny, rain, and I'm like, what? Who pissed in Mother Nature's Cheerios? My God.
What's happening here?
Well, like, I don't know what's going on. So, here's a question for you. What is probably your most embarrassing moment on stage?
Oh, man. My most embarrassing moment on stage? All right, here you go. Well, it was one of our better shows when we were still we'd never played out of state before. But we got a chance to be direct support for 3 Days Grace at a venue called the Masquerade, which is like, if you've been to Atlanta and you're in the rock scene, it's like a landmark place. It actually got demolished and moved somewhere else. But in the original Masquerade, it used to be an old textile mill, right? So it's really small, 1,500 people max. But at the front of the stage, there's a little, like, where security guards stand, but it's not all the way to the floor. It's like a little dip, and then there's another wall. Mm-hmm. We were killing it, right? Or I felt like we were killing it, and I fell into the hole, and I landed on my back, and like my wireless pack for my guitar fell out, so I had to like stop and put batteries back in this thing and like plug myself back in on the ground, front row. Sold the biggest show of my life. All my friends, my girlfriend at the time was up front row. Oh, it was terrible.
Oh, but you recovered, I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, I recovered, and I laughed until I cried until I fell asleep about it later that night. But I've moved on. Okay,
so I mean, the next song we're gonna spin. Now, most songs, you know, as artists used to say, the lyrics are open for interpretation. You know.
Yep.
But you know, with these next two songs that I'm gonna play, I listen to the lyrics, and it's like, oh my gosh, they really kind of hit me, especially like how hard you guys are jamming out. But the song that I'm talking about now is No Lies.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I love this
song.
Yeah. So what was the meaning behind this song when you guys actually put this song together?
Well, it's kind of a fed up song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do I have to do to convince myself that this isn't working? What do I have to do to call it quits?
Yeah.
And then that song kind of goes through the journey of discovering it. Now, what did it mean for you? That's the more important
Well, that's kind of the message I was getting at when I was listening to it, which this one is kudos to you guys. That song actually helped me take my cheating ex-girlfriend and say, bye, Felicia, and get her out of the apartment. You know.
There we go.
Which, actually, with Mantra, I was actually just very open about how bad that relationship was for the first time. And she was very toxic. I'm not going to mention her name because, you know,
you're a gentleman.
Like I said with Mantra when I interviewed them last night, I'm really upset with, you know, how it ended and how she got self-destructive again. I really hope that she gets the help that she needs, and you know, maybe one day down the future, her and I can be friends again. But as of right now, she's too toxic to herself. There's
too many lies.
Yeah, exactly, and I can't have that in my life at this point in time. So
yeah,
I had to say goodbye. But this song helped me out, and like I said, it's on their debut album. And you can find it on iTunes. Just go and buy the whole CD.
Whole thing.
Buy the whole thing. That's what I did.
Or come to a show and buy it there, and then we'll sign it.
Dude, I seriously want a signed CD. I'm just saying.
I'll make sure you get one.
I have a huge collection of local bands that are just signed CDs. I'm not lying. I got like 30 of them.
Well, we're about to be 31.
Awesome sauce. That's my line. Awesome sauce, and I think I've been saying
sauce?
I swear that was like 5 years ago that was actually really popular.
But
I saw a commercial where they said awesome sauce, and I've been saying
you right back in.
It pulled me right back into saying it. I got to stop saying it again.
That was me with Cool Beans. I saw this movie Hot Rod, and they have this whole scene about Cool Beans.
Oh yeah.
And now I can't stop saying Cool Beans, and all I want to do is stop saying Cool Beans.
I want to stop saying awesome sauce. So before this interview is over, me and you will come up with our own new phrase, okay?
I'll start thinking. I'll start coming up with some ideas.
All right, guys. So why don't you check out No Lies?
Now that I tried to make up all the times, you're left with a hole in my heart where you tear me apart one more night. These feelings I shake, another mistake. I drink after drink, I can find that I knew that you lied to my face. Somebody wake me up today. I feel a little torn apart, a little wasted, no chaser. I've got a long, long way to go. When I looked in your eyes, on the day that you lied, this pain isn't breaking. I've always been fake. I don't know which way it's gonna be. I don't know how I am gonna leave. Turning pages of a memory. Save me from this misery. I know which way I'm going as long as it's all alone. Somebody wake me up today. I feel a little torn apart, a little wasted, no chaser. I've got a long, long way to go. Anything to keep me far away. I'm just another broken heart. So many faces, rearrange them. It's gonna knock me out of the cold. When I looked in your eyes, on the day that you lied, you lied, you lied, you lied. Let's take your medication. Ooh, it's an ugly situation. Ooh, all over your friction. The sun is gonna burn you down. Somebody wake me up today. I feel a little torn apart, a little wasted, no chaser. I've got a long, long way to go. Anything to keep me far away. I'm just another broken heart. So many faces, rearrange them. It's gonna knock me out of the cold. When I looked in your eyes, on the day that you lied, on the day that you lied.
All right. So we're going to have a few new phrases other than awesome sauce and cool beans. So, Christian's got some, so hit me up, man.
Excelente.
Excelente.
Because it's got a little Spanish flair, but even the English speaker can understand it. Excelente.
Excelente.
Or blazing, but you have to do like a hand gesture to it.
Blazin'.
Blazing, yeah, exactly. You've captured the essence of blazing.
Blazin'. That's it.
Blazing.
Christian and I are going to just say blazin'.
Blazing.
Blazin'. And then, like, when I meet him for the first time, I'm going to give him that, like, that bro hug thing. And I just be like, blazin'.
Blazing. It'll be perfect.
Man. And then we're going to have someone videotape that. We could put it on a podcast. So, awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome. Blazin'.
Blazing.
So, woo. Okay. Now this is a question that I started with my last interview, and I liked how it worked out. So I'm going to try it again and see how it works.
Okay.
What was the first album that you ever owned?
The first album I ever owned. I think it was a album by The Killers. That they're kind of more alternative. It was one of the first bands I remember my parents showing me and me getting into. It was their second album, Sam's Town.
Okay.
Which, you know that song, like, he doesn't look a thing like Jesus, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that album. And then that kind of made me be like, ooh, guitars and stuff are cool.
Yeah.
And then I fell into the whole... and then I think my first rock record was it was Breaking Benjamin Phobia. Was my first real rock record.
Man. So, if I told you mine, you're going to laugh hysterically.
Why is that?
My first album that I ever got was New Kids on the Block.
You know what? Justin, his first was Michael Jackson, so I'm not that ashamed of you.
Hey, Michael Jackson actually, like, the Thriller album that's like a landmine classic.
Oh,
But New Kids on the Block, that was like a phase, okay? And everybody was in the New Kids on the Block for like 6 months, and then poof, and it was like the hot thing. And I was just like, dude, I had a New Kids on the Block shirt, I had a hat, and I would just, dude, I was merched out with New Kids on the Block stuff, and everywhere I went, I was singing "Hangin' Tough" because that was like my jam. And then I got into real music, but so. Man, here's a question. What's your first concert that you ever been to?
My first concert was Bruce Springsteen in the E Street Band.
Oh, wow. That must have been awesome.
I love Bruce. I'm a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. My dad's from New Jersey, so it's kind of... It would be a sin for him not to raise me with Bruce as a New Jersey man. But, I've seen him 3 times since then, and he just gets better and better every time.
Man, that's awesome. You know, my first concert was AC/DC.
That beats mine, I think.
And my second concert, which, in my own opinion, it was my favorite concert I've ever been to. I got to see Rush.
I've seen Rush.
And I've seen them 3 times. Oh, God. They are my favorite band of all time.
Yeah, that's not a bad band to have number one. Geddy Lee is just... I don't know how he does what he does.
And Neil Peart, man, there's a reason they call him the Professor. Okay, I'm just saying. And I say this every episode. I just boost Neil Peart. Because he's like, dude, he is one of my heroes. If I've ever met Neil Peart, I would probably faint. I'm just saying. If I ever met him, I would faint.
I probably would too.
I'd be like, Neil, boom. I read his book.
We're not worthy.
I read his book, Ghostwriter. He wrote a book after he went through that experience where his wife and daughter had passed away like a month apart. And
oh my God, yeah.
He wrote a book, and what he did is he was like really kind of depressed and upset, and he just got on his motorcycle, left his home, and went cross country in Canada and wrote a book about his journey that he went, like, you know, from his home to the other side of Canada.
Yeah.
And it was just, I read that book and I was crying. But
oh yeah.
Anyway, let's get that tearjerker moment anyway. Okay. So, who would you say are like some of your bigger influences in your career, whether they're musical or not?
I would say right now Seven Dust is a really big one for me personally. I just love Seven Dust. I love their whole vibe, how they have monster hooks and badass groove.
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen, just because lyrically, he's the best. I don't think anybody can compare. The Deftones, just because they make rock sexy.
Oh yeah, they do.
I mean,
I got a funny story to tell you about Deftones.
Oh yeah?
You want to hear this? This is real. Check this out. Okay. So we were at Summerfest. And my dad and I would always try to go to Summerfest.
Uh-huh.
And he wanted to go and see Three Doors Down. And I was like, okay, Dad, I want to see the Deftones. He goes, who are the Deftones? And my dad's really not into the heavier stuff. Unless it's like the classic rock, like Deep Purple, Ozzy, that kind of stuff.
The Doors and stuff.
Yeah, like he likes the classic rock stuff. Like my dad got me into all that stuff. But, so anyway, I play him Change in the House of Fly because it's a really mellow song.
Yeah.
And I figured if I play this song, maybe he'll want to go. So I play that song for him, and he's getting into it. He goes, I like this song. Yeah, let's go see them. So we go to see Deftones, and I'm with two of my buddies and my dad, and we're going crazy, and we're in a mosh pit. My dad's like, what the hell are you guys doing? I'm like, Dad, it's a mosh pit, and I shove a guy, right? And I'm like, you got to hold your own, and we're just moshing out, right? And then we start to get, like, you know, my buddy got, like, a huge, like, bruise, and he swore he dislocated his shoulder, but he did not. But we get out of the pit, and we're looking for my dad. And we can't find my dad. And then Shove It comes on. And we just start going crazy. And then all of a sudden we see this gray hair flying in the mosh pit. And I'm like, Dad? And he goes, I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, it's a mosh pit, son. Wham! Pushes the guy. You gotta hold your own. And I'm like, oh, dude, we're getting back in the pit. And we just jump back in the pit with my dad.
We gotta go back.
We're going back in. That right there was just the Energizer Bunny to get us back in the pit.
That's hilarious.
That was just, oh man, that was one of my favorite concerts, but it did not compare to seeing Rush. I'm just saying. Yeah, but like the experience with my dad was just made that concert great. But any show you go to see at Summerfest is just amazing.
Yeah.
So, oh man. So we've talked about a lot of bands, but here's a question for you. If you could go on tour with any band, alive or dead or broken up, who would you want to go on tour with?
Definitely Metallica. Have you seen their crowds?
Oh God, I've seen Metallica live, and when they played my favorite song, they played "Creeping Death," which is my favorite Metallica song. I seen the whole crowd pumping their fists, going, "Die, die!"
Oh my God!
Die. I was like, oh my God. Like, I've never seen them live, never seen a video of them playing live. That was just my favorite song. And then just seeing the whole crowd doing this just got me going, oh my gosh, and this is my favorite song, and the whole crowd loves it. Because I was like I was 18 when this happened. Oh, they're asking crazy for you. But yeah.
No, they're fine.
Okay. But like, you know, we were at the it was the Valentine's Day Massacre show on Valentine's Day in Milwaukee, and it was awesome. You know, it was like me and my buddy, and we got the funny story is we got tickets for our girlfriends, and they said if we went to the show, they were going to break up with us. We're like, okay, fine, see you later.
Bye.
We said bye. And then headed up to Milwaukee and met two really hot chicks that were looking for tickets. So we gave them tickets to sit next to us, and we just stared at eye candy for the whole entire night. We did not get their phone numbers though. Sadly, it really sucked. We gave them free, like they were like 4th row seats or 5th row seats, and we didn't get numbers out of that.
You got finessed.
Yeah, but we looked cool while doing it. We had pictures with them, so hey.
As long as you got the style points.
Yeah, we got class points on that one. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the next song we're gonna play, which like no lies, this song like really hit me in the cockles of my heart, which is Until the World Ends. I love this song, which I was actually listening to it before I started this interview because I like that song. So.
Oh yeah.
Thank
you, man.
No problem. I don't know if you're saying thank you to me or thank you to the guys, but.
Oh no, I'm saying thank you to you.
Okay.
No, fuck these guys. I don't need.
Man, screw my band. I'm going solo.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. They're not gonna break up. Don't think that this is not an NWA thing where Ice Cube is going solo. Okay.
No,
Bridge to Grace is never happening.
I'd definitely be the Ice Cube of that situation.
Okay, you heard it here. I didn't say it. Anyway, moving right along. What was the influence and the drive behind this song? How did it come about?
Until the World Ends is... I don't know. It's just our collective heartbreak song, you know?
Yeah.
When you are best friends with somebody, they're everything, and it's not like anything either of you did. It just ends.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it wasn't the right timing, or you guys just grew apart, you know?
Yeah. There's nothing you can do about it most of the time.
But like I said, when I was playing No Lies, all songs have their own, you know, they're open for interpretation. Now, they're artists, you know, not like painting, but they're musical artists and, you know, lyrical geniuses. Yes, I said lyrical geniuses. You're up, you guys are up there with Neil Peart now in his lyrics. I'm trying to get really brownie points with Bridge to Grace. Calm down, guys. Shh, don't tell him I said that. But anyway, so dude, like I said, guys, I love this song. You can find the whole album on iTunes. Dude, just pause this and go buy the album, then go listen to it, then come back and listen to the rest of the show. It's all good.
That's a really good idea.
That's a good idea.
You gotta break it up with some purchases, you know?
So, yeah, pause. You can even go on their website and buy it and get the physical copy and buy T-shirts and stuff. So go buy merch. Yay.
Bingo.
Bombo, boom. BLAZIN. All right, guys, so here's Until the World Ends. Check it out.
If everything we're feeling we understand, then every day we're living. And I know when the day comes we'll fight it all the way. I just hope there's still courage to say, told you this, we are just living for something else. Haven't I told you this, we were so lost and lonely, waiting for the end, while I'm slowly falling for a friend, until the world are all behind us. Everything is real, and the world is upside down. And I know when the time comes, we'll make it to the end. I just hope there's still words left to say. Just living for something else. Haven't I told you this? We were so lost and lonely, waiting for the end, while I'm slowly falling for a friend, until the world ends. Haven't I told you this? Haven't I told you this? We are just living for something else. Haven't I told you this? We were so lost and lonely, waiting for the end, while I'm slowly falling.
Ooh, that was Until the World Ends. It hits you right in the cockles of your hearts, guys. Trust me.
Right in the feels.
Right in the feels. But, whew. Now, guys, if you're interested in getting some like autograph merch, they have a GoFundMe right now to get a new RV.
Yes, we do.
Which, the video is great. I like the video. Like, make sure you brush your teeth 2 times a day. I like those oddball things. Just like stick out to me. Like I have an ear for that. Like I don't know. Have you guys ever watched the movie Head of State? Like I love that movie. The movie is absolutely hysterical. And Chris Rock is doing like one of his presidential speeches, and or not presidential, but candidate speeches. And he's like, I asked my niece the other day, what's 4 + 4? She said 44. There's a guy in the crowd, very faintly you can hear it, and he goes, it is. And I was just like, I heard that and I busted up laughing. It's those little things that are so subtle that I pick up on. Like, it's the second one, Harold and Kumar, the second one. I think it's
Guantanamo Bay?
Yeah, Escape from Guantanamo Bay. When the police detective or whatever is questioning the African-American neighborhood, and he pulls out the grape soda, and it says grape drink on it, and he starts pouring it down. And the one guy, there's a guy in the background that says, hey, see if he's got any Kool-Aid. And then it keeps going on, and then later on, you hear that same guy go, I'm serious about that Kool-Aid. Oh, dude, I was freaking dying. Because, like, a lot of people, like, I've had to play this for friends. I'm like, dude, you didn't pick up on that? And they were like, no. And I go and I play that scene in either one of those movies or another movie, and I turn the volume up really high. And I'm like, just listen. And then I'll point at them to listen, and to listen, they go, what the fuck?
How'd you hear that?
Why did I miss out on this little subtle thing? So,
see, that's why I like rewatching movies and TV shows, is because then you can pick up on the other stuff. Because you've already focused on the foreground. Gives you a chance to observe the environment and other things occurring in the scene. Like
for example, just the other day, I got one of those cracked Google Chrome boxes, like the cracked Amazon Fire Sticks.
Oh, yeah?
So I went back to, binge watch The Practice, which is like one of my favorite TV shows of all time. And I'm really sad they took it off the air, but it happens. And I was just, rewatching it now that, with more life experience they have now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm noticing a lot of the, like, special guest stars. Like, there was Agent Phil from The Shield. He was on there. It had Negan, or the dad in Supernatural.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, and the really funny thing is in the same episode that he was in, Abraham was in it as well. And I was like, oh my God.
Red?
Yeah, Abraham was in that episode too. Then, if you guys ever seen The Day After Tomorrow, the love interest interest for the guy, the main character, she's in there.
Keanu?
Yeah, she's in the Day After Tomorrow.
Wow.
Or she's in The Practice. I was just like, oh my gosh. So.
Yeah, I love when stuff comes full circle like that.
Yeah. So, anyway, guys, like I was previously mentioning before I got sidetracked, if you go on to their GoFundMe and donate money for the RV, you can get special merch, like an autographed guitar and autographed CDs, I believe. And
yep, we have custom T-shirts.
Yeah, custom T-shirts
with our old RV on it. They're pretty near and dear to our hearts.
So. And you, too, can get this. Sadly, I could not, and it's a long story. I'm not going to get into it. But as Christian was saying when him and I were talking about it, he said maybe somebody will donate me one.
Maybe a generous listener would contribute one T-shirt or an acoustic guitar to the cause.
Oh, yeah, dude. I would love to have that. I did a fundraiser for my dad back in August, which I'm doing another one in January, which I've already kind of talked to you about that. But we had 5 bands, and we had them all autographed drums. We had 3 snare drums that we had autographed. And we raffled 2 off, and I won one of them. And
Nice.
all 5 of the bands have autographed it, and I gave one to my dad. So,
Very cool.
and horn blows, does the driver? Anyway,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I'm at a gas station somewhere, and some guy doesn't know how to unlock his car.
it happens. It happens. They're at a gas station. Make sure you get the Reese's Pieces. Just saying.
Oh, we already stocked up. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, like the movie Paul. Reese's
Oh, yeah.
Pieces. I love that movie. Man, I love movies. I'm a huge movie buff.
So were we.
Okay, then, like, if you guys are on the road, what movie do you guys like always go to watch? Or is there
man.
a movie or is there a group of movies?
I'd say Superbad is a pretty often one we watch. We're also really big TV people. So the 2 biggest TV shows we watch are Game of Thrones. We're huge Game of Thrones fans. And then Always Sunny in Philadelphia are the the 2.
Okay, what house are you in with Game of Thrones?
We've actually all taken every quiz there is available. We've determined I'm a Baratheon. Justin's definitely a Martell. Alex is a Lannister if I've ever met one in my life. And David's probably... I think David's probably a Martell too. I'd say maybe Justin's a Stark. Justin's probably a Stark.
I'm definitely all about Targaryen. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love House Targaryen.
I love it. And Daenerys can come into my house at any time. Just saying.
Yeah, any of them.
But I love Tyrion. I was actually having this conversation with Mantra last night, which it wasn't last night when I air this, but it was last night. Anyway, we were talking about Tyrion for quite a while. Man, like, Peter Dinklage is just hysterical.
Oh, I know. He was perfect for that role.
Oh, yeah.
I just find it. I really like how his character. Like, it's so rare you see, like a dwarf like in that kind of role where they have so much power and they're.
Yeah.
If you look at the span of the show, it's really the true good guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Have you heard the theory that he's actually a Targaryen?
I've heard that. I really have.
Mm-hmm.
And if that actually ends up being true, I'm going to love it.
Yeah, I'm all for that,
yeah.
for sure.
So, man, my favorite show is definitely Supernatural.
Oh, yeah, Supernatural's a good one.
And then followed by Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if you guys are Supernatural fans and Walking Dead fans, there's a scene in this last episode where Dean drops Negan's bat on the table, and Sam goes, "What's that?" And he goes, "Oh, it's one of Dad's toys." I busted up laughing.
That's so funny.
Because Supernatural has no filter. None.
At all.
No filter, and I love it. They break like the 16th wall. They don't mind. They don't care.
Exactly.
Ooh, but my favorite movie is Boondock Saints. I can never get tired of watching that movie.
Yeah, Norman Daryl's in that one.
Yeah, yep. And Idiocracy for a comedy.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That's not a movie. That's actually a true story of what's actually happening to society.
Oh,
seriously,
I believe it.
check it out. But moving on to the music, A Bridge to Grace. How would you guys feel social media affects you guys? Do you feel it helps, or do you feel it hinders the local music scene?
It depends on how well you use it. I see social media as a tool. Just like the vehicle. When the car came out, people were against it. Like, oh, this is just gonna, it's stupid. Why not just use a horse? Later, we've come to rely on it for pretty much, everything. The whole world does. So, I mean, I see it more as a tool. It depends on how you use it. If you do it wrong, it could definitely hinder you.
Yeah.
If you use it the right way, it can definitely work to your advantage.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I've had so many bands that have said stuff like, "Oh man, it kind of hinders." Like they've said it hinders, but there's bands that have said it's helped. But as far as like the hindering, it's like they feel like if somebody videotapes a show or a band playing live, then someone won't come out to the show because they'll be like, "Oh, well, someone's going to videotape it somewhere."
Yeah, I mean, that's a good argument to be made, but if someone is satisfied with a crappy iPhone video rather than going there and being at the concert, then they weren't going to go to the show anyway.
Yeah, because let me just tell you.
They're the type of... Yeah.
Nothing beats a live experience. I've had so many, things that I can talk about. And I'm just going to talk about one. I was at a small show with Fatal Havoc from Chicago, and Three Left, which they're my boys, they're my family. I don't consider them, they're like family to me, but that's another story for another time. But Fatal Havoc was covering Beer by Psychostick, and I'm disabled, and I'm, sitting in a chair just rocking out, and Sean comes up to me and starts singing with me, and I'm singing in the mic with him.
Nice.
So, and like, you're not going to get that experience when you're sitting at home watching it on YouTube. You got to be there for that kind of stuff. Yeah. Man, and let me just tell you, just rocking out with my guys when they're on stage, doesn't matter which band it is. First Rule, Three Left, Fatal Havoc. I could go on and on and on with all the bands that I know, but Saint Tragedy, any band, rocking out with them and just being there is just so much better than seeing a video on YouTube.
Yeah.
But we're getting into the next song that we're going to play, which is actually a video, which, guess what, guys? I figured out how to put a video in my podcast when I upload it. So you guys actually get to see the video of this song and not just listen to the song. So,
ladies and gentlemen, the future is now.
I figured it out. Special treat. But the video for everything, let me just say, there are two things that I know they're cheesy, corny effects, but I like seeing them. And that's like when you film something, and then when you're playing it, it's like the rewind of it.
Yeah, playing it in reverse.
Yeah, playing it like when the guy like smashed the chair and threw stuff down. It's like he's putting it back up, or he's putting the chair back together. I like that. I think it's it's kind of a cheesy special effect. I admit it, but I like it. Also, like when you guys did that group jump, and it was in slow motion. I was like, I like that effect because it's like playing really slow. But I love it. I really do.
The reason we employed the reverse, like the backwards video, is it's showing how you can destroy something, but then trying to put it back together, it doesn't look right, and it won't be natural.
Exactly.
You've already broken it. You can tell it's in reverse because it's wrong. Something in your brain, something in your core tells you it's not right.
Yeah. One thing I noticed about the video, and I was mildly confused about this, but seeing as I got Christian here, I can ask. So, the girl that was in the video, now, is that the same girl that you see in the field that you see at the end?
It is.
Okay, so it's the same girl. Now, my conclusion that I had was, because you see a belt that's around her arm, so I'm assuming she like OD'd or something, and when she's in the field, it's kind of like the afterlife, so to speak.
Yeah, it could be.
That was my interpretation of it.
That's a good interpretation.
That was my interpretation. But I mean, what was the meaning behind it, or you just want to leave it open for interpretation to the
I'll
fans?
leave it open for interpretation. Your interpretation is the widely accepted one. I perceive it as that's her on the drug.
Yeah.
Out of it, not a care in the world. Paralleling the guy who is going through living hell.
Yeah.
So it's kind of showing the selfishness of it all.
Yeah, and trust me, guys. Like I mentioned, I've been an alcoholic. I'm recovered, and that's kind of what it was like when I was drunk. It was like, dude, this is awesome. But everyone else around me was like, oh man, seriously, he's drinking again.
Yeah.
And I've dealt with people that have had drug addictions too. So. Your interpretation goes, it makes sense as well. I mean, like we say, when an artist does something, they really leave it open to interpretation. Just saying. So,
yeah.
Was there like a real meaning behind the song, or like with the video? Is that like how you were saying, if something's broken and you're trying to put it back together, it's not the same? Is that like kind of the meaning behind the song as well?
Yeah, I mean. Honestly, when we originally wrote it, it came from David's battle with weight loss.
Okay.
And how the enemy and the person he's singing about, it's himself, and all the obstacles he's putting up for himself to prevent him from living the life he wants to live. But it's a piece of art. We make it, and the beauty of art is that it doesn't tell you what to do. It doesn't tell you what to think. You can observe a painting and feel happy, and 3 other people can feel 3 different ways about it. Some people can be like, this reminds me of my dead dog, or this reminds me of a rainy Tuesday. You know, it's just something that is, and the brain can do whatever it would like with it.
Exactly.
So that's all I'll say about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people seem to apply it to love and, somebody taking everything that you have, that makes sense. It's completely fair.
Yeah. Which I can say this. You make sure you tell David I said this. Congratulations on the weight loss. The struggle is real. Trust me. Let me explain this to you guys. I don't know if I mentioned it before. This is like episode 16. I mean, I've talked with a lot of bands, and let me just tell you, if everything goes right and I actually make this for a living, I'm going to be one of those guys that says, dude, I love my job. I really do. But
Good.
Anyway, getting to my story, I struggled with weight loss. I really did. I was at a point where I was weighing 450 pounds. My T-shirt size was a 7X. And
we make those.
And my pant size was like 62 inch waist.
Wow.
And I'm down to 380. I'm like right between a 5 and a 6X T-shirt. I'm at like a 42 inch waist. So it's hard.
Nice. Congrats, man.
It's really, really hard. And now that, I can actually move a little bit better, it's hard because my knees are so bad. But now that I can actually move a little bit better, I don't know if you remember him, but Wayne that did the show with you guys in Janesville, he joined Planet Fitness here in Racine. And as soon as I get, the money that I'm expecting to be coming from a lawsuit, long story, we're not going to get into a lawsuit issue, but as soon as I get my money from my lawsuit, that's one of the first things I'm doing is I'm joining that gym, and him and I are going to start pumping iron.
Nice. You got to have a buddy.
Yeah, you got to have a workout buddy to keep you motivated. Because trust me, I lose motivation really quick.
Oh, I do too. It's not that I lose motivation. I'm just really good at tucking myself out of things.
Oh, exactly. Like, I can wait to do this another week.
Well, if I do this tomorrow, I'll do it twice as hard, and then tomorrow rolls around, and I forget I ever did it in the first place.
Exactly. So, but like I said, guys, Frankie figured out a new tool. So you guys actually get to see a video for the first time, and guess what? It happens to be Bridge to Grace. My new friends.
Boom.
My new friends.
BLAZIN.
Boom.
BLAZIN.
BLAZIN. We got to do it all the time. BLAZIN. I'm going to say that on all my shows now. And you better be listening to shows being like, that's our thing. That's our thing.
I'm going to have to fact check you now, aren't I?
You're going to have to fact check me. All right, guys. So check out the video for everything.
Got a heart but it don't beat. I got a song that I can't sing. I gotta wait for you alone. I got a love that I can't chase. The kind of mystery won't fade. I gotta wait for you alone. And I'm wasting away. You've taken everything that I want, till there's nothing left in me, and there's no room left to breathe. You're changing everything that I need, 'cause there's nowhere left to hide, when there's nothing to believe. Would you leave me here behind? Would you love to watch me cry? Would you like to fly away? I could show you the truth if you'd only let me lose, if you told me what you need. And I'm fading away. You've taken everything that I I could show you the truth if you'd only let me lose. If you told me what you need.
I hope you guys liked that little treat for the video for everything. But while we were having a little break between, everything that we do here, Christian gave me another fun fact, which makes me even more excited. Go ahead, Christian.
What can I say? I'm just chock full of fun facts. Talking about the everything video y'all just watched, we actually filmed that on the set of The Walking Dead. We are good friends with the woman who runs the tours around the set down in southern Georgia. And we were able to book that location fairly easily. It was hot as a witch's tit in a brass bra, but it was a lot of fun.
It was blazing hot out there.
It was blazing. That is a fact. It was blazing hot. So, that's actually the barn where the governor and Rick have their sit-down meeting.
Oh, my God. Do you guys actually... Dude, seriously.
We saw the table and everything.
Oh, my God. Dude, I hope you guys, took pictures at the table.
I actually took a picture with Merle's knife hand attachment thing on me.
Dude, if you actually send that to me, I'm going to put that in the video when I upload this on YouTube.
All right, I'll try to find him and I'll send him to you before tonight.
Okay, sounds good. And if you can't, I'm sorry, guys. But we at least teased it for you. But if he does send it to me, before I start doing all this editing when it goes up, you know what I'll do? I'll actually put that picture on the Facebook page and be like, look, it actually happened.
Perfect.
Oh,
picture
man.
didn't happen.
No, that picture, people nowadays, though, unless they actually see the picture, they don't believe that it happened. Which... It's sad that people need proof and people don't trust people anymore, but that's how the world has came. The world is a really shady place now. I was talking to a friend's grandchild, and he's really big into basketball. And I said to him, dude, I've met D. Wade, and he says, I don't believe you. And I'm like, dude, seriously, I actually met Dwayne Wade. I have a friend that went to Marquette with D. Wade, and I got to meet him. And he goes, I don't believe you. Unless you have a picture, I don't believe you. And I'm like, dude, I wish I would have, back then, when this kind of stuff was happening, we didn't have that kind of technology at the time. So, I'm sorry. Camera phones happened a little bit later than that. But
just after that.
Yeah. I mean, it was just after that, and they were around, but even the quality of the camera phones were just really lousy at the time. So
terrible.
Man. So right now you're doing this tour with Seasons After. Who else is on this tour?
A band called Gears.
Okay.
Yeah, they're up and coming. They're really good, though. You should definitely check their stuff out.
I definitely will have to. I've actually, other guests have referred other bands to me, and I went and I checked them out, and guess what? I've actually had them on the show, or will have them on the show in the future.
Nice.
Just to do another plug for American Overdose, Cody suggested that I really get in contact with a band called Keychain, and they're actually from Canada, and actually right now they're on tour with Def Leppard. I was like,
damn.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous of you.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and I'll have them on in a while, so I'm actually really excited for that, because, dude, I want to hear stories about touring with Def Leppard. Because when I was a child, dude, Hysteria was that was the shit. That was that was the coolest thing.
That's still an everyday jam on the RV.
Oh, man. That album was just, woo! That's all I can say.
It was blazing!
Blazing! Exactly. So, I mean, is there anything in the works for the future for you guys? You're on the tour
we can
now.
Really discuss.
Ooh, hush, hush.
We got some secret business coming on. We're working on a new album. It should be out real soon. We're getting really close to finalizing that. Because after 2 years, we got to have something, right?
I know, right? Something new. But I just found this album.
Exactly. So you still have a year before you get frustrated.
Usually when a band comes out with an album and you listen to it really heavy for like 6 months, maybe 8, and then you're like, dude, I want something new. I'm going to plug these guys again because I always do, and I'm sorry. I know they love it, but 3 Left, they're my homies. They're like my family. I got the CD when it first came out, like in 2016. Or maybe it was the tail end of 2015. I can't remember. But anyway, I got it when it first came out, and I listened to it so heavily. And then I want to say by like October of last year, I was like, dude, when are you guys going to have a new CD out? Because I want something new to jam.
Nice.
And then they're like, oh, yeah, we're going in the studio in January. Sweet. Blazin'. And now they've been going in and, finalizing and doing tweaks here and there on it and mastering it. And I'm like, when is it coming out? And they're like, dude, soon. I'm like, it's almost like me starting to sound like death. When is it coming out?
No, when is it?
It's like Cookie Monster.
Exactly.
See, it's your cookie. Oh, man. Woo, good times. Oh, so, man, I honestly wish that I wasn't in the shape that I was in. Like, I can walk fine, but, like, my knees are horrible, and I can't make a drive, like, that far without my knees, like, just killing me. And I wish I could go to the Madison show that you guys are going to do. I really wish I could go. But I don't know if my knees could physically handle it. But maybe.
Get Ashley to take you.
Well, Ashley lives, like really close to you guys, and or close to the Madison, where you guys. I'm about 2 hours away from Madison. I could probably make it like 45 minutes to an hour, but then if I'm driving, or just sitting down for longer than that, my knees just start cracking. Like when I'm getting out of my car. Like trust me, even when I wake up in the morning from getting out of bed, I have to bend my knees furiously before I can actually get out of bed.
Jeez.
Because I have zero cartilage in my knees, so it's just
just bone on bone.
Oh yeah, and it's just so painful. But it's hereditary in my family. But what the doctors had told me is because of everything I did in my youth, it caught up to me a lot faster than it probably would have. Because I played defensive tackle and fullback in football. I played third base and catcher in baseball. I did volleyball, men's volleyball, and I did cross country. I did all that in high school.
R.I.P. knees.
Yeah. So I messed up my knees really good. And back then, I was also like 230 pounds and I was fit. I was. But ever since then, dude. Yeah, I kind of lost my way since my knees started to give out on me. But, so there's some secret stuff that's coming up in the future, but there is an album coming up.
There is an album.
So, I hope it's just as long as this one. So, because then that gives me more of a time to listen to it. Just saying. Anyway.
Exactly.
So, as I spoiled earlier, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and this is a question that I ask for every single band that comes on the show.
Okay.
If a wrestler had came to you guys, Bridge to Grace, and said, I want to use one of your songs as an entrance song, what song would you hand them?
I've actually thought about that a lot, because I used to love wrestling. I still do. I'd have to say either our song Adrenaline, or maybe Take It All.
Okay. Now, let me just tell you guys, he said Adrenaline. When I first heard Adrenaline, I was picturing the pyrotechnics and someone just coming down the ramp, and also seeing the Titantron to the video. Oh my god, this by far is my favorite song that you guys have done.
Oh, thank you.
Oh god, I love this song. It just when I listen to it, I just get so much energy. And I'm like, dude, I was talking to my buddy. He's like, make sure, my guy Wayne, he was like, make sure you got a good workout mix. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to just play Adrenaline on repeat and just start like going to town. And I'm like, dude, I love that song so much. Like, I play it in the car, and my buddy, my roommate was like, oh man, it's refreshing that you're playing a new song, because back in the when my car stereo is broke, and when it comes on, I usually have a CD that's stuck in my I have a CD in my CD player, so I know when it's working. And my jam for the longest time over the winter was Heathens from the Suicide Squad soundtrack.
Oh, yeah?
And whenever he was in the car and the CD came on, I put on Heathens. He goes, oh, my God, dude, get a new song. Please, just get a new song. And I'm just like, all my friends are heathens, take it slow. And he's like, dude, seriously, this song is not that good. And I'm like, yeah, it is. The song's awesome.
It is good. I love that song.
And now it's Adrenaline.
Nice. Good replacement.
And he was just like, well, this song at least doesn't suck. And I'm like, but you're going to hear it just like you hear it with Heathens. He's like, please don't do that to me.
Please don't do it to me.
So, man, yeah. Like, but when you said wrestling song and Adrenaline, I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking. And that's the next song I'm going to play. But
perfect.
Man, so, but you still watch wrestling right now, you said?
I haven't in a while, just because I've been so caught up in music. But I used to love like Jeff Hardy, Undertaker, Kane.
Jeff Hardy's actually back. Like, the Hardy Boys are actually back in WWE.
Are they back?
Yeah, they made a surprise return at WrestleMania this year.
Oh, wow.
The crowd went ballistic.
Oh,
they just went, like, the crowd went apeshit. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're back. And that's at WrestleMania. That's like, of all times, that was the time they chose to bring him back. And then they had him win the tag titles at WrestleMania on their return. I was like, oh, gosh, this is so awesome. I was like, dude, that's awesome. But the sad thing was they had Roman Reigns beat Undertaker at Mania. Why, Vince? Why would you do that? Nobody likes him. No one likes Roman Reigns. Stop it. I hate when Vince McMahon likes a wrestler and they just shove him down our throat.
Exactly.
I hate it. It's like, dude, we don't like him.
Have you seen the video of Vince McMahon tearing both of his quads getting into the I think it was a Royal Rumble, or it was I think it was a Royal Rumble. It was Batista and John Cena.
Yes, I've seen that.
They both fell out at the same time, and Vince McMahon came to settle it, and he tore both of his quads trying to get in the ring.
Yep.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. I was watching that live because, believe it or not, guys, wrestling fans of my viewers, John Cena was actually liked for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
He was cheered for, and now he gets a very mixed reaction, which is understandable because there's only so long that Vince McMahon can shove somebody down your throat. I still like Cena, trust me, I do. But I wish he would make a heel turn and maybe go back to the old John Cena. But wish in one hand, shit in the other when it comes to wrestling.
Exactly.
Like, honestly, there's a day that I'm hoping, and I say this all the time, I can't wait to finally meet Bayley. She's gonna marry me, I swear to God. No, I'm kidding. She's not gonna marry me, but oh my gosh, like, everyone's like, dude, you just like her because she's hot. Like, no. Yes, she's extremely attractive, but she's extremely talented in the ring, and her personality, she is just, like, she's so awesome with the fans, and just a really bubbly personality, and I love that.
Really charming.
Yes. Like, I love her. I really do. I have, like, so much Bayley stuff in my wrestling room. My bedroom is my wrestling haven. I have so many autographs and so many people that I've met. Finn Balor, I've met Enzo and Big Cass, I've met Tommaso Ciampa, Cesaro, Austin Aries, John Cena, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jerry the King Lawler. I've met a lot of wrestlers, and I gotta say, John Cena, Finn Balor, and Cesaro are like in the top. Well, even Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So I gotta put him in there. They were in the top 4. Honestly, like, they were all so genuinely awesome to the fans.
Yeah.
And I can talk on and on and on about this, but we're going to wrap this up, guys. I mean, we've kept you here. I've kept Christian here for a while, and I'm sure he wants to go and chill with his bandmates.
Don't worry about that. I just got to take a shower because I'm a sweaty dude.
Well, I bet you are, and I don't want to keep you from a shower. I know how that is.
Oh,
so, like, I'm a bigger guy, and bigger guys, we sweat a lot easier. I'm not saying Christian's a bigger guy. He's fit. He's got the lovely locks of hair, like Mimi said. So, you know, he's got to, wash and condition the hair. So,
you know,
Pantene Pro V.
Ultra Seme all the way,
dude. That's what I use. So anyway,
you got good taste.
Yeah, BLAZIN, and I use my Axe body wash. But anyway, woo. So thank you so much, Christian, for coming on. Hopefully
Thanks for having me, man.
Dude, I really appreciate it because, man, I'm not gonna lie. I was so nervous about doing this interview. Out of all the interviews that I've done so far, this is the one that I was so nervous about. I'm like, dude, don't mess up, Frankie. Don't mess up. Don't mess up.
You did great.
So,
don't worry about
like, dude, I was so nervous because, like, you guys, like, to me, it's just like I feel you guys are, like, almost at that brink where you're about ready to go famous. Like, well, you already are, but, like, make it, like, nationally, like, huge nationally, even globally. And I'm like, that's how I view you guys. And I'm just like, oh, please don't mess up. Please don't mess up. And I felt I did pretty good. So
you did pretty good.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, whew. So like I said, thank you guys. Thank you, Christian, for coming on. I really appreciate the time that you've given me.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, it was an honor and a privilege to have you on here. Like I said, guys, keep the trend alive. Keep it going. # support local music. We'll catch you next time. Deuces.
Thank you.
Take some time to push it. Take some time for